Hi, shalom everyone, we're touring again biblical Israel. We're in an area called Eshtaol here, quite near the city of Bet Shemesh over here. And we're going to explore some of the archaeology here, industrial area, and also just outside the famous IKEA over here. So sit back, enjoy, and let's check it out, friends, over here. So we are in industrial territory over here, friends. Many of you would probably be familiar over here. Let's just go for a walk around here. Many key places. I think there's a car dealership over here connected to, one of the main dealers. And you can see big factories and industries. We've got loads of shops, but this is not it. Okay, we've got Beit Abraham over here, but we've got so much to check over in such a small, biblical, very, very biblical place of land over here. Now we are in Eshtaol. There's a famous Eshtaol forest over here, and it's got a lot of biblical significance. This specific key area is. That's something we'll point out over here. Now, first of all, you've got like archaeology, so you can have a forest over here. Maybe at another time I will do an entire recording of the forest. You've just got like a lot of big factory places over here, the beautiful trees. You can see the archaeologies of Israel just behind. What a place to have this. But Eshtaol is actually featured in the book of Judges, first of all, at the time of Joshua. It's very much a key place in and of itself. And all this Bet Shemesh area around us is very much featured. We see all throughout the Bible. And also it's Shimshon Hagibor, Samson. Obviously we all know or most of us will be familiar with the story of Samson and Delilah. We've heard it when we were kids, when we were going to sleep, the classic stories. Shimshon, Samson was very much part of this area. This was here, and his family actually grew up. We are actually in this territory of this square kilometer approximately of Shimshon Hagibor, Samson the mighty over here. You can see now the beautiful trees, archaeology. We're very, very near the forests over here, and we've got another special treat over here. We've got a large IKEA over here, which is a newish one. I think it opened just before the coronavirus, if I'm not mistaken, over here. So let's just explore around here, friends. And friends, we're a community here. We explore all over Israel. We are in Eshtaol, which is right next to the city of Bet Shemesh. It's part of the Mata Yehuda Regional Council over here, if anyone wants to know. So this trip to IKEA is not just convenient because there's a sale at the moment and we need many different goods and so on and so forth. It's also very convenient. We get to walk inside biblical Israel, biblical territory. Amazing, recording this at the time of a Sunday morning, so I don't know when you guys will be watching this. It could be you'll be watching this today, or maybe in a year time, a few years time. So I know a lot of these tours I've been doing over the last nearly 2.5 years now. You know, every day there's people watching older material, so it never finishes basically. So I could be recording something now, and it will be very heavily watched a year or two later. So that's very interesting. And let's just tour around here. What are we dealing with around the IKEA territory over here, friends? At a later time we'll go to the, see there's another factory of some sort over here. These are the side roads. Factories and importances over here. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a wedding hall also quite near here. We've got a gorgeous roundabout here on our left. A lot of trees here. It's coming to the Jewish festival of Tu B'Shvat only in a week time or so. So it would be appropriate. You can see all the land and forests and trees over here. I'd assume this is the Eshtaol forest over here, friends. It would be nice to go for a hike over here. Be careful with wild dogs or wild animals, I'll say. But you can see this is all land over here. Unfortunately, these lorries with multiple cars are blocking the view. But let's just get another angle here, friends. You can see this all greenery and Bible Israel. Now over here, IKEA, obviously. Many people will come in, not necessarily to walk over here and feel the biblical significance. They will come here to get a good sale and save money, which is very, very understandable. That I will say straight away. I was last in IKEA just on the last day of Hanukkah. I went to Ramat Gan for a few days, and I went afterwards. I was very smart because I don't like to travel too long in one go. So I knew the journey back would be about 55 kilometers to my house. So I know this is about 13 kilometers from my house. So to cut the journey shorter, I was quite smart. I took a few of my kids and did a trip to IKEA, bought a lot of fast food. They enjoyed touring around there, took an hour and a half break, and then went back and obviously drove the extra 13 kilometers. And very interesting. You can see many industrial car dealerships over here. And now you've got a gorgeous park right next to IKEA over here, friends. Check this out. This doesn't fall down. Very, very nice park, spacious, and surrounded by the IKEA emblem. Over here. Now there's more. Yeah, at a later time, you can see the IKEA sign over here. We actually did a tour inside IKEA, a couple of tours. We did one of the upstairs and we did one of the downstairs. Also, and what's convenient also, if someone is about to miss a minion over there, they're so smart, they built a synagogue on the top floor of IKEA. That's something we have to point out. So a lot of car dealerships here. It's a very, very large car park area. A lot of roundabouts here also, friends. As I'm recording this on a fantastic Sunday morning over here, and we're about to go. This week is going to be Shabbat Shirah. It's a Parshat B'Shalach, and it's a fourth Torah portion in the book of Shemot this week. Okay, so you've got more stores over here, large ones. I think one of them is called Ahavat Zion, if I'm not mistaken. There's actually a synagogue in Ramat Bet Shemesh Aleph called Ahavat Zion, a very Anglo one, for any Anglos watching. And another roundabout here with a few trees. You can see the flags of IKEA. Let's cross the road. There's nothing like walking in Israel anyway. I just love walking in Israel. All different parts. Another view, some archaeologies. I think it's time to put the specs on, my sunglasses. It is a bit hot over here, friends. So just bear with me for a minute. Aye. What's the day it's been? Just took the missus to IKEA, so she is doing some of the shopping, so I've got some time now to do some records of some tours over here. We've got another road. It looks like, once again, many industrial shops in of itself over here. That's something that we have to point out. A baby store by Super Baby, so I'm not too sure what that actually is. You've got some road things over here. We are in Eshtaol, friends. Anyone tuning in live, welcome to our community. If this is the first time you're watching, and we do tours all over Israel, so you've got other places over here. This is a very you need a car really to come to these places. You've got all baby products over here. That's quite interesting to know. Got a nice Israeli flag surrounded it. We're not going to go all the way down here, but there's a lot more significance. We will hopefully at one stage maybe go to the Eshtaol forest in another separate video to record. That's something I will point out over here. You can see over here just up there. Okay, let's go now towards just the entrance of IKEA. Everyone likes IKEA, obviously. I remember when I was a kid, there used to be, there probably still is, an IKEA about 6-7 miles away from my house. There was in Mill Hill. So we used to go as a kid. So the highlight was going to the what they call a gymboree, where there's a play area. I remember going very well. IKEA obviously is from Sweden. I think it's a Swedish chain of outlet. Over you can see the emblem of IKEA. Let's just go over here a little bit towards the entrance. We're really walking on Bible territory over here. This is just an entrance in of its own. Right. There's a lot of vans which sell foods, flowers for Shabbat in general, if you go around here. And you're quite near, you're about 5 kilometers away from the famous big fashion Bet Shemesh mall. So we're really, really right next to Bet Shemesh also over here. So it's so many people can come to this specific place from all directions. That's something I very much have to point out over here. You can see the fields, the plants of Israel, just all surrounding it, the Bible of Israel. And it's a problem. I really love walking over here. It's good exercise also, friends. I did a health check for my cholesterol quite recently, and it was quite good. This is compared to before. A couple of years ago when I did a checking, the doctor said if I don't walk a lot, And obviously watch what I eat. I might have to take medication for the cholesterol level, but thank God it improved. You can see the plains of Israel over here. The mountains, the hills, the grass, the trees. Now let's go towards inside IKEA territory over here. You can see the flags of IKEA. Anyone tuning in live, we are walking in Israel. We are in an area called Eshtaol, a very biblical area here in central Israel, right next to Bet Shemesh, where the famous IKEA is over here. And how many people got elated when they built the IKEA? The only unfortunate thing was it came at around the time of the coronavirus, so it was really sandwiched at that specific time here, so people couldn't really enjoy it like they probably would have wanted to. Okay, you can see some more of the hills of Israel over here. Beautiful. As I make my way into the complex, there's a bit of music to get entrance in. And yeah, very interesting. I'm going to go to the cafeteria, possibly record a few more videos here. You can see a nice Israeli flag, and that's a Swedish flag right next to us, next to the Israeli flag there, the IKEA emblem. And I think it's an opportune time to wish you all a fantastic day. We got to feel over here biblical Israel. Eshtaol, a famous area. We didn't go inside the forest per se, or any of the other parts. Maybe we'll do a part 2 and later stage when we record these things. It's absolutely amazing. You can see things are on sale at the moment. It's on the sign there, large car park area, surrounded by fields. Wishing you all a fantastic day, and a Shavua Tov and Barach. And take care. Here I go into IKEA.